Hi, it's lovely to see you. It's the holidays, and for a while this week we're just going to be doing some fun projects, some little imaginative projects, and today's one is going to be based around a rose. So you'll see what I mean in a minute. Before we get started today, I thought I'd show you what inspired today's project. Beautiful Mexican embroidered flowers. They're quite stylized, and the colours have a fade in them, and I think they're just really, really beautiful. So let's take a quick look at these. Got lovely curly buds and sprigs, and just one more look at that lovely rose. Okay, now let's go and draw our own lovely rose. So now I'm going to start making my stylized rose. Now I'm going to leave a tiny space in the middle. I'm just going to map it out with little tiny light pencil strokes you probably can't see. And then I'm going to draw my first petal. I'm going to make them a little bit uneven, like a real rose. And I'm just going to do a ring of large sort of a half petal shape, isn't it? And then when I get to here, I'm going to put one in between each one, like this. And I'm going to keep on doing that. I'm pressing quite hard so that you can see. I'm going to go round. I'm going to put little ones in here like this. Maybe just a little ghost of one there and there and there. Now I'm going to make this space in the middle a place for someone special to live. And I've decided, because it's a flower, that special person is going to be an ant. But first of all, I'm going to take some time to draw the little house. And you can think about kind of different styles of houses. It might be a log cabin or a little palace, or even someone living in a windmill. Maybe there's the door. When I was young, I used to love to draw tree trunks with doors in them where elves lived. It's another thing you can do. Now, who's going to live here? I think it's going to be an ant lady, like I said. And I looked up the insects online and had a quick think, and I remembered I wasn't quite sure how many legs an ant had. I don't think many have hats and shopping baskets, but an ant has 6 legs. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's her little shopping basket. She's just going back to her house. I'm going to make her a little black ant. So I've got that far. And now I'm going to take a break and I'm going to do some colouring. You can see that. So now I've gone all over with one colour. I expect everyone has their own colouring styles. What I thought was, I might now, thinking back to the thing that I showed at the beginning, I really like the fadey quality of that embroidery. So I'm going to put a slightly darker tip to my petals. I'm going to do some pink, but I'm also going to choose this red as well. So I'm not pressing too hard because I want the other colour to come through. I expect you'll be able to think of lots of different bugs, beetles, grasshoppers. You could have a whole flower bed town. Or you could draw one enormous rose and have a little tiny village in it. It's really up to you. I think everyone has a favourite insect. I think I'm just going to put a few tiny stripes like this, because if you look at a rose, sometimes it's a good idea to look at something before you draw it. Sometimes they have little markings on them, the petals. So I'm going to maybe just very carefully put a little bit of brown. I want my house to show up, so I'm not going to colour the house too hard. Right, now I've done this part. I liked before how the lines showed up and they've sort of disappeared a bit. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Sharpie or any dark felt pen. I've done it wrong again. I'm going to use this pen and I'm going to go over the lines so that I can really see them. Just emphasise it a bit and maybe emphasise my little ant. And if you didn't have a fine pen or a black felt pen, you can use a biro for this. That works just as well. So keep going around, sharpening up your image. It's going to take a bit of time and do it as neatly as I like. And while I'm doing that, I'm thinking perhaps next door I'm going to have a grasshopper. You could even make up a story about the insects living here. So I'm probably going to finish that in a minute, but I think it looks pretty good for now. And I hope you have fun making your own one. Here's a couple of other versions that I did. I did a rose side on, I put a little castle in it, And then I also imagined, well, what if someone had their bedroom in the centre of a flower? So we're really using the flower as a sort of imaginative starting point, but you could make a tiny, tiny town in the centre of there, or a magic lake, or anything you like. It's up to you. I hope you have fun.